Welcome into the PHNX Coyotes post-game show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Steve Peters. Craig Morgan will be joining us live from Gila River Arena in a little bit. But Petey, this game took a turn from
what happened?
The end of the second to this very moment, and I still haven't collected my thoughts entirely.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. It was honestly that first 40 minutes, Coyotes didn't look so good. But again, this is exactly what you expect with a roster with 11 guys from the American League in it, including, I guess, 2 college kids and 9 American leaguers, playing a team that's going into the playoffs on fire, averaging over 4 goals a game over their last 12. Like, you expected it to be that kind of game. I literally, I'm almost speechless because what happened in the third period, it was two different things. One, the Coyotes didn't give up, and we've seen them do that. Unfortunately, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen them fall apart in the later as the game went on. And I don't know what happened to St. Louis. Like, they disappeared. They couldn't make passes. They couldn't get the puck. They couldn't get it on the forecheck. Wow, their coaching staff on that plane ride home is going to be a little bit grumpy because they just fell apart.
I know, they did. And the tank might have fallen apart too, but we'll get to that later because let's just talk about some positives for once on this show. Like, I mean, we've been positive, okay?
Yeah, we've been as positive we can be, Leah. As positive
we have. But there were actually really cool positive things. And like you said, at the end of 2, the Coyotes only had 9 shots through 2 periods. And then they came back in the third, scored 3 goals back to back to back. I mean, there were some amazing moments, which we'll get to. And they outshot St. Louis in that third period. I think it was 11-3, which is just unbelievable. You said St. Louis is a team going to the playoffs. So forgetting about all the consequences aside for Arizona, which like I said, we'll table that for later. It's a fun feeling to spoil a team like St. Louis.
You know what? And one other thing that we'll talk about in that third period, and I did some math, and I know I actually did pull out a calculator for this because I'm not that adept. So you look at the Coyote scores tonight. Smith, college kid, 7th NHL game. Boko Imama, 2nd NHL game. Carconi, 18th. The veteran of the group was J.J. Moser playing his 40th NHL game. Go to St. Louis's goal scores. Falk, 280. Barbashev, 348. Sod, 707. And Brown, 66. For a grand total of, for the goal scores tonight, St. Louis was 1,401 NHL games. The Coyotes, 67. And that just kind of, to me, that encapsulates this whole thing. They combined for 67 NHL games. That's insane that this team was able to keep up with the team that some now are saying is one of the powerhouses in the West. You talk about Calgary, you talk about Colorado, and people are talking about St. Louis right now. So good on them. And I talk about that young energy and all of those players. You look at Smith having an impact next year. And McBain, I thought, is another good game for him.
He had more opportunities. Like, it's just a matter of time for him.
Yeah, so it's just I thought he was getting it again tonight. There were 2. I thought that one he in the third period to tie the game. He didn't. It was before Mosers. I thought for sure he was going to score. Then goes back to the point. I thought he was going to get a tip on it, and I go, oh, he just missed. It's coming. Like, he's around it constantly. So again, we know what this is. We know what the purpose of the season is. We understand it's a rebuild. Everybody gets it. But to see players like Smith and McBain make an impact, in Carconi, even a 25-year-old, because Imama getting his first goal, absolutely fantastic. Do I think Boko Imama is part of the future of the Coyotes? Probably not. I mean, he's been in the minors for a long time. He fits in great, and it was a great spark plug for today. The point is, there are great young pieces in the future of this Coyotes franchise right now, and that's before we even get to the draft. Maybe there's hope. Maybe we can stop sighing. I mean, I hope so.
You'll never stop sighing.
No, I probably never will.
I know. And this was one of those games where you see those moments, and it was really cool on all 4 of the Coyotes goals. Oh, someone who played for the Roadrunners was a factor in all of those goals. Yeah. So that's really cool and really special. And, even if everyone we just mentioned even half of them are part of the future. These are those moments that are really cool to see. Smith getting his second NHL goal tonight, seeing McBain still in the action, seeing Carcone, seeing Mosier on the score sheet. Like, that's really exciting. And it kind of gives you hope that in a few years down the line, these are going to be the players that are going to be hopefully part of that group. And it's going to be really cool to think, wow, remember that season where they only won 22 games and now they're winning, I don't know, what's a reasonable number?
Well,
in
more
the
than
40s?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, maybe we'll get there. Let's cool our jets for a little bit, Leah, but it's good. And the other thing, like you mentioned, you talked about Tucson. This plan is working. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Develop players down in your minor league team in the American League and have them play in the National League and make an impact way sooner than we anticipated, clearly. But I tell you what, I mean, I'm not getting ahead of myself because this team is still in the battle for the basement and they're still looking at the draft. I get it, but there are some things to look forward to. And remember, like, there's been times in the franchise where you go, God, there's nothing to look forward to. There's just nothing. And now this Smith kid, I tell you what, Smith and McBain, they're players. They can play. So let's see, what does Dylan Gunther do? He was on Twitter again tonight. He got another goal in the playoffs in the Western League. So there are some good young pieces. Just hang in there, people. I know it's hard. And the first 40 minutes today, it's like, oh my God, is there something else to do? Can we go play knee hockey in the concourse? Can we do something? And that third period was electric. I mean, it looked like fun to be in the building. And that's the first time I can say that in a long time.
I know. Honest to God. By the way, my friends are in the chat right now. That is what everybody is seeing. Those are people that I know in real life. They are hyping me up, but I think Sean is kicking them out. So sorry, friends. But let's look at tonight by the numbers. Like we said, the Coyotes were getting severely outshot. It was that third period. That's something you can't really get a sense of from this, but the penalty kill reign is finally over for the Coyotes. They let in a power play goal, which was unfortunate. And then they finally had some chance on the power play, which they hadn't had for a while. But, again, the numbers don't really paint an accurate photo.
Like without Keller. Like, that's a problem, right? And we've talked about that. And the shots on goal, like you said, through two, it was 28-9. And it was a tale of two games. Even by the numbers, don't clearly show that the difference between the first two and the third. All I can say is what I saw in the chat earlier here. The Coyotes have heart, and I got to give it to them for not giving up and quitting on this game because they very easily could have.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm taking away from this game, forgetting about what the consequences could be, like we said, for the tank. That third period was awesome, and it was special and really cool to see how things unfolded. And it was double fun because it's fun to watch a play. It's a playoff team. St. Louis is a playoff team. They literally have clinched a playoff spot. So it's not like that happened against New Jersey or Anaheim. Like that was fun. And I know that part of it was on their end too, but let's talk about what happened in that third period that started the success. And let's start with, I think, for me, the biggest moment of tonight's game, which is that Boko Imama scored his first NHL goal in just his second NHL game. And I have to tell you, when they showed his family in the stands right after, like, I almost felt choked up.
Yeah. And they couldn't make it in for his first game. Travel plans and getting across the border is difficult. And luckily they were able to make it in today for this game. And you know what? He had a scoring chance earlier in the game. I mean, the one where Jan Yannick pushed the goalie in, he was kind of around it there too. So You know what? I can't believe we're saying this, but that was a great goal. And
it was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, he worked to get that. It was a really good goal. And you're right. When they show his family in the stands, you're like, you get that little sense of pride for the kid. And you could tell. One thing for me is when something like that happens, look at how the teammates react. Look at the players on the ice and how they react, and how they were genuinely excited for Boko, and how you have to go watch the replay of it. Jan Yannick goes right to the net to get the puck, and you could just see the exuberance and excitement of the teammates, which lets you know, hey, they're excited for this kid. And that makes it even more special because you go, oh, they're excited for him. They're happy for him. So that makes us happy for him, and the family's happy for him. it was a really good moment. And even we were texting amongst each other and we were just Boko exclamation point, exclamation point. Like everybody's happy for the kid and what he's gone through to get to this point, just to play in the NHL is amazing. And now he's got his first goal. So that's what turned it around. And honestly, that's where the momentum started. And
It
people
really
get
did.
excited.
And it wasn't just another goal. Like you said, all those things that you just said, that's a spark plug to the rest of the team. And it really did have that effect, because look at what happened in the next 10
Less than a
minutes.
minute.
Well,
Less
yeah,
than a minute later, they scored
44
again.
seconds later, they scored again. And then look how the rest of the period unfolded. So it was awesome to see. Great to see him get on the board. Like you said, he had was in on that play earlier with Unique, and he was all over the place, and he was on the ice a bunch more tonight. And for the second night in a row, Boko Imama is our DraftKings king of the game, which he deserves, because he had his first NHL goal. We didn't even have to. All we had to do was change the type on the graphic. We didn't even have to do a new photo or anything, or change the name.
That's
so
amazing. Back to
great
back.
for,
You know what, Lee?
it's
We'd have to
rare
go back.
that maybe
It's
Clayton
happened.
Keller or Schmaltz, probably.
I think Veggie probably was
Maybe
back to
Veggie,
back.
maybe Wedgie, but like, this is an exclusive list that Boko is
It's a very
on.
exclusive list that Boko
Yeah.
has just joined, is back to back DraftKings king of the game.
But he deserves it 100%.
He did. And you know what? Again, we talked about so many different people. That exuberance of those young players at this time of the year when you're clearly out of it. And you look at how well those young players are skating. Even, Michelli, Carconi, Imama, Smith, McBain, all of those guys, their feet are moving because they're just damn excited to be there. And so, you know what? That's the spark they needed today. And I think that's what gave them the little bit of energy. And I truthfully, the St. Louis Blues kind of hung up their skates in the second and decided that they were going to coast through the third. Oh my gosh, Leah. And they're off.
Wow, there they go. They're excited about Bogo's first.
I still can't believe it. It was fun. And that St. Louis Blues team, I'll be really, really honest. I was very concerned with them coming into town. They're in a race with the Minnesota Wild for home ice advantage. That's imperative for that series. They needed a win, and they didn't. So, yeah, they did. I keep thinking it was a win for the Coyotes.
I know, right?
Sorry, I got away with myself.
Funny what we
Rewind
take
that
as.
part.
It's funny,
I know, but that's a win for us, right?
I know.
DNVR, they actually get real wins. This is a win. It's a
like this was actually the 10th straight loss.
I know. We're sitting here talking about it like we're having a parade.
I know.
It's 10 straight losses.
The street racers are gearing up for the parade down the street. And also a note about Imama's goal. He's the 7th player with a first NHL goal for the Coyotes this season. So
it's crazy.
Just absolutely insane. And, you talk about what has led to this point. 541 man games lost now for the Coyotes. It's absolutely unbelievable. Beagle out the other night. Richie's still out. Ladd is now out day to day. It's just one after the next after the next. They recall Unique today. And I mean, honestly, I know that his goal got waved off, but Unique was part of the mix. He was a factor. So just absolutely unbelievable what this team this team is not the team that we saw in the beginning of March.
But this kind of gives it this whole, and I just started thinking of this because I've been talking about a win for the first 10 minutes of the show, and they didn't
Might
win.
As well.
But that's kind of where this season is, right? Like that's kind of what we've been talking about for almost 80 games now. We're 79 games in, and this is a win for this team. It's a moral victory. This is a win. And that's all we've ever asked for during the rebuild, is to be competitive, work hard, and try to be in it till the end. And that's exactly what this team did. And I'll be honest, at the end of the second period, I was like, really? We got to watch another period of this?
That's how I felt. I was thinking about what other topics we could talk about on the show. Like it was going to be misery.
Same. But it was really exciting. And so we talk about that young blood and that young influence. And I think that's what allowed this spark to happen. When you look at the goal scorers being guys, like we said, that are really new to the league and have that excitement still when it's this tough. And you know who else almost had a goal again? Phil Kessel in the third period.
God,
had a wide open wrist shot in the third again.
I just cannot believe that Phil Kessel still hasn't scored. We've been saying for like 2 months, he only has 2 goals left till 400. And he's there and he's still getting points. Like he's getting assists almost every night, but he's
we have to go I have to go check it. That might be 30 games now with 1 goal. It might be 30. 1 in 30. Yeah. Anyway, talking about Harry Sottery, I was concerned for him too. You talk about his start in the first period, you go, uh-oh, like that went through him, and you go, oh no, it's gonna be a long night. Last game he gave up 7 against Calgary. You go, oh no, this could be tough. And you know what? He locked her down in the third period when he really needed to be good. He still made a couple of saves that helped this team get it to overtime. So I know it's just a moral victory and not 2 points in the standings, but he did lock it down in the goal. He's got no chance. I mean, you look at there's some miscommunication off of the face-off, and nobody takes Falk because everybody chases the puck, but that's understandable. Again, you have young guys on the ice and they're exuberant, and you saw that with the defending through the first period. There were so many missed defensive assignments, but again, the kids that are doing it are 19 to 22, and they're just chasing the puck like a little puppy. Let's go. Oh, well, there's the puck. And they chase it around, and instead of going, oh, wait, I'm supposed to stay here. That's my man. So you get it. When you're working that hard, you kind of give them a free pass, that it's okay to make mistakes. Exuberant mistakes like that are okay. So, we'll take this as a partial victory.
Yeah. And I think Sottery had a game much like the Coyotes where it kind of stabilized toward the end. So hopefully these last 3 games for the Coyotes will be competitive games. I do feel like things have taken a turn in the last, it was really, really bad for a while. It's kind of stabilized. So all we can ask for is 3 losses for the Tank, 3 Montreal wins for the Tank, and close competitive games for the Coyotes. And on that note, here's Craig, who did not come in an elevator this time, by the way. Craig, no elevator tonight.
You don't get the music if you don't take the elevator.
I'd like to begin this news conference by discussing this tragic Coyotes OT loss.
Yeah.
Tragic because they lost, or tragic because it went to overtime, Craig?
Tragic because it went to overtime and they got a point.
Yep. Here comes the realism. We were saving it for when you got
We saved you for this part. We've been the positive show. For the first 18 minutes, we've been positive. We've been trying to put this part of the show off because we need to talk about it. This is a big deal.
I didn't even bother going up, by the way, to the press box tonight. I just stayed in the interview room here. I'm working with this backdrop. I'm getting chirped by Doug Cannon right now. So,
well, Craig, what does this mean for the Tank?
You know what it means. They're now ahead of Montreal, and you've seen Montreal's schedule. So was it worth it to get to OT and lose 30 seconds in? So now you don't have the best odds. This is such a classic Coyotes franchise moment. We remember the win in Buffalo, don't we, Petey?
Yeah.
I feel like
the same thing.
This OT loss is the same thing. They're going to drop to second best odds. Montreal's going to win because Canadian teams always win when they have the worst record in the league, because the league always makes sure that happens. And then some other team is going to come in, jump over the Coyotes, and they're going to draft third.
Do you recall the end of the baseball season last year, Craig?
Yeah, we were talking about it tonight. Todd Walsh and I were talking about it before the third period. Only I was saying to him, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be just like the Diamondbacks walk off to blow the number 1 pick. The Coyotes are going to beat Nashville in the last game of the season to jump over Montreal, but they didn't wait for that. They ended up getting a point tonight, and now they're in 31st, and Montreal's going to lose all 3 games.
But let me try and be positive for 1 sec about this. We said, well, look at Montreal's rest of their schedule. What is it? It's Florida,
Boston, New York, and Florida.
Okay,
2 of them are home in Montreal.
Boston,
and Florida has nothing to play for on that last game.
Okay,
yeah, but Florida's 13 straight games.
Okay, so that's horrible. That's horrible. But did we not do that for the Coyotes and say, oh, St. Louis,
we
Minnesota,
did.
Dallas, and look what the Coyotes did. So I don't know. It could happen. I'm just trying to be positive.
Yeah. Boston, I tell you what, I will say this because I watched the Boston Bruins earlier today. Oh boy, the Pasternak's back, and that team, they look really, really good. And I of those the schedule, like you look at Minnesota, Dallas, and Nashville, they're all going to make the playoffs. Probably Boston, New York, and Florida are really good hockey teams. So we'll see. You're right, Leah. You're right. Maybe they get a hot goaltender and they win. They take Boston overtime. And that's all they need. They just need 1 point in overtime. So now now we'll have to scoreboard watch.
Ain't happening. Canadian teams tank right when they tank.
They tank right. They do it the right way for right.
Yeah.
Right for right. Tank right for right. Lord. Well,
I can't believe what I saw here. And also, can we talk about how it came from notable goal scorers, Boko Imama, Michael Carcone, and JJ Mosier to get this game to OT?
Well, and Nathan Smith. Well, the three, yeah. So
yeah, I'm talking
Craig,
about
you missed the stat, and I got to repeat it again for the audio listeners so they can pull over and the goal scorers for St. Louis versus Arizona. I'll say it again. Total games played 1,401 for the St. Louis Blues goal scores, 67 for the Coyotes goal scores. So, yes, you're right, Craig. If you thought you were going to get a goal from Phil Kessel tonight, you did not. It was Boko Imama. Did you get a chance to talk to his parents or talk to Boko tonight?
Did not, actually. We just got Bear tonight, but obviously a really cool moment for Boko Imama to get his first goal. His parents are here and his sisters are here at the game, so really, really cool moment. They weren't obviously able to get to his NHL debut, so hey, come in and see him score his first goal instead.
Yeah,
and it was a good goal. It was a legit goal. He went hard to the net. Good for him. I think it was an accidental feed from Alex Galchenyuk, who just lost the puck off his stick as he was thinking about passing. But Boko was there. He was on the doorstep, went hard and buried it. And then the celebration was awesome. Yeah. It was just great to see.
I really think that was the reason the game turned around. Like, everyone was just so energized.
I'm going to agree with you, Leah.
The whole building was, yeah. The whole building.
And also,
it was fun to watch.
I've seen a lot of comments in our chat tonight, just that people who were at the game said it was the loudest they've heard the building in a while. Did you feel that, Craig?
Yeah, it was definitely rocking after Boko scored. There was a lot of emotion in the building, and you may be right. That may have been what sparked them in the third period. But let's be honest too. St. Louis came into that third period just thinking they were skating out of Gila River Arena with a win, and why would they think anything otherwise, given what they had done in the first two periods in the lineup they were facing? So those things combined, and we got to OT, and then St. Louis decided, we better play for a win, and 30 seconds is all it took.
Craig, we're in the studio on the next week, right? Yeah. So Craig, I have a favor to ask while you're there. This is totally, everybody listening, just mute for a second. This is personal. Craig, is Greg Dillard still there? He's got our Thor bobblehead for the studio. And if you could grab that would save me.
Buddy, I've already got it. Got it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's coming.
Greg Dillard also came in here just a few minutes before we went on the air and turned out the lights on me.
That's, by the way, that's our tagline for the last game, isn't it? Turn out the lights.
Yeah, I think seriously.
So. In Glendale.
Seriously.
Oh my god.
And I will be speeding away from Glendale.
Craig, there's just one. There's one left.
That's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, there's breakup day the next day. So it's a 7:30 start. And then I think they're probably going to do breakup. You know how they do it, Petey. Let's start at 9 a.m. Yep. I'm seriously thinking of getting a hotel room and staying out here after the game, because the game's going to end so late in our show. And then
almost 11:30. And that's actually smart, Craig.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you. And plus we get shows and we got to talk about.
Or I'll just sleep in this room maybe and use the showers next door. You know what I'll do? I'll use Jason Rudy's cot.
Yes. He's Jason Rudy spent many a night at Gila River Arena. And speaking of Gila River Arena, Leah.
Yes. Which thing are you queuing me up for? Is it the number two moment? There's a lot of directions
let's get that was a moment out of the way.
That was a great moment in our show's history. Speaking of Gila River Arena, Leah goes,
yes. But Petey has been doing this so much lately, and he's going like, I'm queuing you up.
I just want to go. That's all. Let's get through all the shit we got to talk about, and let's go.
God. All right. Well, let's talk about the number two. Let's talk about the number two moment in Gila River Arena history, as this was the second to last ever game there. And this one for me, I mean, obviously it's up there on the list, obviously, because it's not our number two. But for me personally, it's one of my top. And of course, that is on May 7th, 2012, when Mike Smith stopped 31 of 32 shots. Derek Morris and Martin Hansel each scored, and the Coyotes beat the Predators 2-1 to advance to the Western Conference Final. And I will start because I was there. And for me, there I am at 16.
Look at little Leah Merrill.
So the reason I was there is because a family friend of ours is was a longtime director for NBC, and she was directing this game. So I actually got to go in the TV truck and watch the game there, watch her direct. And then I got to go in the booth in the arena where they direct the scoreboard and the Jumbotron. Very, very cool. And I'll just never forget that moment where they won the game and the energy in the building and the whiteout and the towels. And that moment as a Coyotes fan, that was the peak moment for me. And I'm so happy that I got to be there. So I'll let you guys talk about your experience there, but that was mine.
Petey, I wonder what
I'm just speechless for a second. She was 16, Craig. Like,
Right.
we were in our 40s. Like, I had gray hair at that one. Like, what the hell happened? How did I get like this? The moment was unreal. It's my I had some really cool moments when I played. I think we won a Pee Wee tournament or something. I'm sure I did something really cool when I played. This was unbelievable. When you talk about electric, and we talk about a lot at the studio, electric and fire and lit and all those things. That was unbelievable. The atmosphere in Gila River Arena, packed to the gills with everybody wearing white and going to the Western Conference Finals. That's 8 games away from the Stanley Cup. You know how hard that is to get there? That is unbelievable. That's the farthest franchises have ever gone. And that was phenomenal. You're playing a team in the LA Kings coming up next that you had beaten during the regular season. And you start going, oh my God, like this could actually happen. And they get that buzz. I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. Legit chills. That was unbelievable beating the Nashville Predators. And it's funny because we saw Biss talking about it on Bally's last night. They beat themselves a little bit. It was Scottsdale 1, Nashville nothing, with Radulov getting suspended for that game. So my highlight as a career employee of the Arizona Coyotes, that was that night. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Craig.
Yeah, I've talked about that playoff, the entire run, and it was just littered with incredible storylines, including the Russians going out in Scottsdale the night before that game and getting suspended. But the funny thing about that series to me is after they beat the Blackhawks, there was literally no doubt in my mind that the Coyotes were going to beat the Predators. I never even gave it a second thought that they were going to get past that round. It was what was going to happen after that. So it was almost... I mean, I was excited about covering the conference final. Obviously, that was a big deal, but it was almost less of a big deal to me than the Blackhawk win, because the Blackhawk won. A lot of people thought that team was a cup contender that season. I obviously followed the Blackhawks. I still think they had some holes, and obviously they lost Marian Hossa, but I thought they were going to beat Nashville all along. The way Mike Smith was playing and the way that team had rallied together, I thought it was a fait accompli.
But it was a different series. You look at the Chicago series, 5 straight overtime wins, and the majority of them were on Mike Smith's back. Clearly, like, he won that series, no question. Anybody that played, coached, saw the games on TV, Mike Smith won the series. There's no two ways about it. Nashville, he was good, but it was a better team. Like, Arizona was the better team in that series. And to your point, Craig, once they got through the Chicago series, which was an absolute dogfight, I don't know if they ever felt that they were going to lose to Nashville. I don't think that was even, Nashville won a game, but it just didn't feel like, they're going to win that series. You just felt that they were going to win that series. It was just different feeling. And it was, the buzz in that area of Glendale and going to the rink every night, it was on TV. And there was actually, for the first time in a long, long, long time, there was a buzz about hockey in Arizona. And I hope and pray that we get to see that again in the next few years, the decade, whatever it takes. I want to be around, and you can call me a wagon if you want to, and jumping on, I'm all in. Like, I want to experience that again. I want to wear white again. I'm in. So I hope people that are new to the Valley or didn't get a chance to experience that get an opportunity to do that with this team in the very, very near future. I hope.
I know. I hope so too. And unfortunately, the Coyotes aren't in that position right now. Like you said, hopefully in a few years. But a team that is in that position right now is the Phoenix Suns. And they're in the midst of their playoff run right now. So if you want to bet on the Suns or any other NBA teams, you can do so on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And this week, new customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. You win no matter what. Plus, each day of the first round, get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same game parlay doesn't hit. So the Suns are back at it again tomorrow night. By the way, if you're local, There's going to be a watch party at the Ainsworth, when the PHNX Suns crew is doing their pre and post game show live at the Ainsworth in downtown Phoenix. So join them there. It was a blast. Sean and I stopped by for a couple hours yesterday. Great atmosphere. You don't want to miss that. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code PHNX. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the first round of the playoffs and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And as always, that's 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Anything else you guys want to talk about from this game specifically, or?
No.
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 We're
We're just
still
so done.
from it.
Oh,
I'm reeling.
my
I'm reeling from this. I just can't believe what I just
Craig
saw.
is being like Petey tonight, like bringing the negative.
You're this close. You were this close.
I know.
To doing what you tried to do.
What you do for 82 games to get to.
I know. We're gonna look at this one. I just know it.
I said this before, and no one's going to give a shit on May 10th when the ping pong balls are coming up that they went to overtime tonight. No one is going to care.
Nope. Doesn't matter. Doesn't
if
matter.
If it would have ended 4-3, if it would have ended 4-3 with the goalie pulled and St. Louis gets an empty net goal, you go, oh, it was close. It was exciting. What a great comeback. Boko got the thing. Nope.
Even if the St. Louis scored in the last minute or something, like, and they lost in regulation, that's what we need. That's what we need. Like those close losses.
It's hard. And you do want to see that in overtime. Like to Craig's point, that was 23 seconds longer or 30, whatever it was. It wasn't. So it's just, you want him to get that pick so desperately. You want him to have the best possible odds. And now I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going to be rooting for the Montreal Canadiens to get a point. I'm literally stunned that I might be watching the Montreal Canadiens play the Boston Bruins and New York Rangers just to see.
Those are great matchups if you're talking about original six history.
There you go.
It's not so.
Look at Leah looking at the positive. So let's see if they can and watch the scoreboard. Let's, I guess we figured it would come down to this. It's down to two teams. Seattle won again.
Seattle's done. They'll be out.
Yeah, Seattle. Goodbye.
That's it.
Anybody want to bet on it? I'm betting that Montreal loses all 3 games. And we can have Sean start working on photoshopping a Canadiens jersey on Shane Wright.
No, stop it. Stop that.
Too soon.
Let's look at the Coyotes' upcoming schedule.
Who's the number 3 pick? Who's the number 3 pick in the draft for you guys?
You know what?
Right now it's just,
I don't know.
It's Cooley and Wright. 3 is a grab bag.
Yeah,
right now.
Okay, this is what's
we
ahead.
better get on the 3 for the next show, Leah. We better have the 3, 4, 5 picks figured out. I'm on it.
All right. This is what's ahead for the Coyotes. They got Minnesota and Dallas back-to-back games on the road. Minnesota is a playoff team. Dallas is hoping to get there. Dallas needs every win. We've talked about this last night. It could be wedgie versus veggie. And then, of course, Nashville. So hopefully we talked about Montreal's tough path to the end of the season. Hopefully it's a similar experience for the Coyotes with those 3 games. Minnesota has been really hot. They're 7-1-2 in their last 10. So like you said, they're fighting against St. Louis for home ice advantage.
Yeah, there's a lot of still things to be decided, and we'll step away from the Coyotes for a second to say that there are a lot of matchups that are not determined yet for the playoffs. And the big one we've talked about for weeks is in the Western Conference. Do the Vegas Golden Knights get in?
Without Robin Leonard?
They have San Jose tomorrow. And the biggest game of the week is head-to-head, Dallas versus Vegas on Tuesday night. If Dallas wins that game, it's over.
Yeah.
And Vegas is out.
Look, and Dallas's schedule after that is easy. So it feels like Vegas has to go 4-0.
Yeah, I agree. Dallas has to go 4-0. Or excuse me, Vegas has to go 4-0. They have to win out.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know. I don't know. I can't. You still think, like, you always talk about the hockey gods. 2 weeks ago, I said, Vegas is going to get in. They're going to get in. Stone's going to come back. They're going to get in. Well, Stone's back.
What's the playoff picture right now? Yeah. Okay. So if we want to try and give, some positive vibes to Coyotes fans, can Boston catch Tampa Bay? Or is that over now? Might be over now, huh?
No, I just had that.
So okay. So let me throw this out then, because we know who are the the Achilles heels for Colorado Avalanche and the Carolina Hurricanes?
I don't. Do you know?
It's the Vegas Golden Knights and the Boston
Okay.
Bruins. Right
Okay.
now, Boston would play Carolina in the first round. And if Vegas can sneak in and take Colorado out, well, both of those first round picks that the Coyotes get from Carolina and Colorado would become much higher picks at that point.
Look at you.
Because it's also based on playoffs. It's not just on your standing at the end of the regular season. So if they both bow out in the first round, the Coyotes could get higher picks out of both of those, or even if
that'd
one
be
of them
mid-range
goes out.
picks.
Okay.
Then.
So
that's mid-range
maybe
picks.
a way to ease the pain of the fact that they screwed up the tank tonight, and they're going to blow it by 1 point.
Holy shit, Craig!
They're
That's
gonna finish
actually
tied
some
with
positive
Montreal.
news.
Yeah,
Craig, what
there you go.
did you? Wow.
So
Look,
hold on to
everyone
that.
can have a vested interest in the playoff race, actually, that relates back to the Coyotes, not
Colorado and
just vested
Carolina
as
need to
fans.
lose for us to get better draft picks. Don't tell DNVR that,
Yeah.
because I don't think they'll be happy.
Yeah,
about
and
it.
Robert said May 10th is lottery. That's only 17 days away, so that's
Not that we're counting.
yeah. Who's counting?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the hockey playoffs, and I hope.
Me too.
Again, I'll say it again. There are some unbelievable matchups with unbelievable hockey players coming up, and the next 2 months are going to be unbelievably fun. And I just hope that the May 10th makes it all worth it. I hope so. Please.
Yep, we
Please.
made it through all of these games, and let's look at the punch card. This is what we've made it through. All three of us and the chat. This is what pack therapy was every night for 79 nights. This is what we've done, and we're almost there. We're almost there.
I am stunned. We haven't had the Pack Therapy logo up for a while, have we?
No, we
I don't think
haven't. We have
Yeah.
not. But
Can we do a best of? Can we do a best of episode?
There's so much we can do when the season ends. And
What time is it in Europe right now? Because I'm thinking Bill Armstrong is waking up and looking at the results and saying, they did what? Sorry, I went back to it.
Craig,
Is he in Europe right now?
He is. He's watching all the European championships. He's scouting.
Oh,
So
Craig, what
he
do you
probably
think he's
just got
thinking
up
right
and
now?
said,
St.
"Oh my
Louis.
God, 1 point!"
Yeah, like, oh my God.
oh my gosh.
Yes. Well,
Okay,
He's-
yeah,
well-
I'm
at
right.
least Bill Armstrong has said before that you never want to take that chance to win games away from players. He would never begrudge a player the opportunity. And obviously coaches and players play to win no matter where they are at any level.
And you can see it on the bench, Craig. You got to be excited for the players, the people in the building, the coaches. They were excited for this game, and good on them. And that the will they showed to get back in this game, and that's the excitement you got. They're not thinking about the tank or the draft. They want to win the game. So good on them, and that's exciting. And I hope we can
Good
sit
on
through
'em.
3 more of these.
Good
Well,
on them.
since-
If they want to
since-
win more games, though, they want higher draft picks.
Since
Exactly.
somehow I'm the one leading the positivity train tonight,
Oh, boy.
let's talk about one more thing that's really positive, and that is the fact that all of us are going to be at the last Coyotes home game of the season. Friday, April 29th, PHNX is taking a party bus to Gila River Arena, and if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, what are you doing? A ticket gets you a ticket to the game, food and drink, Josh and Doan meet and greet, a shirt, giveaways, raffles, prizes, and Petey and I confirmed are going to be on the bus. So Petey has a ton of stuff planned. He's going to do his own giveaways. There might be a live Petey's Puck Talk. He might give some behind the scenes stories from the bubble. Josh is going to be on the bus. It's going to be so much fun. So be sure to go to the PHNX Locker, buy your tickets if you haven't already. If you have tickets to the game already, stay tuned Monday for a way to get on the bus. Even if you have tickets to the game, but you can still get all of those amazing perks that I just mentioned. So stay tuned for that. And also, if you're already planning to be out in Glendale, we're going to have a meet and greet with Josh Doan at the Lola at 6:30 before the game. So you can get tickets to that as well on phnxlocker.com. So Josh will be there. You'll get a shirt, an autograph, a photo opportunity, and Petey and Sean too. And I will be there as well. So maybe Craig will make an appearance. I don't know. He will not confirm or deny.
Bougie.
We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
We'll see. It fits into his schedule.
I
I'm
heard
excited for the
that
bus ride.
this alternative ticket opportunity has something to do with Petey standing at the back of the bus, quietly holding the back door open and taking money from people. Is that what's going on?
Oh, why didn't I think of that? That was the plan. Gotta supplement my income. I'm excited for this
there
bus
you go.
ride because one of the things Craig won't be there, so we can talk about Craig. We can do Craig stories. Is that fair, Leah? We can
There
do
you
that.
have it. And
Talk about
Craig, if you
birds.
take the bus, then you don't have to like worry about driving to Glendale. Then you just stay over the night, you
Yes.
know? But we'll send the bus to come get you the next day.
Oh, great.
There you go.
No, you won't.
Oh
Oh,
my
so
gosh.
our bad. We forgot you.
And Chris, they are tied, Chris, but Arizona wins the tiebreaker with more regulation and overtime wins.
Yep. So Montreal is 32nd right now.
Yes.
And that is where they will stay. And maybe that's where we should leave this
I didn't
show.
say it, Leah. It was him.
I know. I can't. It's so negative.
Look at Nae's picture. Is that over at Leah's house right now? Do you keep hearing the cat?
Do
Craig,
you
have you heard
hear
the cat?
her? I'm
I have
so
heard the cat. It just didn't say
sorry.
anything.
Yeah, my cat has been very chatty tonight. Sorry, everyone. She just wants to put out her 2 cents.
So who'd you give the king of the game to tonight? Did you give it to Boko again?
Yeah,
Boko Imama, back-to-back nights.
back to
How do you
back.
not give it to Boko? And with his family there, it looked like everybody's gonna start crying. You got to
It was
give
awesome.
It was awesome.
Before we head out, Craig, I need to ask you because a lot of people have been asking on Twitter and in the chat and in the Discord. Are there any injury updates you can give us besides the players that we've talked about in the last couple nights, like Richie
The
and stuff?
only player that could still be coming back is Liam O'Brien. So that's the only.
So
guy.
Jacob Chikrin's injury was way longer
Yeah,
than they initially said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just wanted to get some injury updates from you because
Yeah, all those
Little
other
while.
guys out for the season. Liam's the only one that could be back. We'll see.
bummer. Bummer. Well, I guess the rest of the season is really only 3 games, which is bizarre to think about.
Can you believe it? I can't believe it. A week from now? Like what day is he said? A week from now, it's done.
I cannot believe it.
Week from
Yeah,
right now,
I'll
it's
have
done.
written I'll have done breakup day. I've written my column, and I'll be at
Wow.
home thinking, hey, I think Petey and Leah should just carry the show for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna take a vacation.
And that's the last game. Those are the last games on
happen.
Friday. The last games of the league are usually on Sunday afternoon. It's Friday.
Well, there's other games in the NHL.
Not on Saturday.
Well, there's games on May 1st because they had to
Are there?
reschedule.
Oh,
they had to
they
reschedule
won.
because of the blizzard in Winnipeg.
There's one game.
Yep.
It's Winnipeg and the Kraken. HK.
Right? They should just cancel the game.
Cancel the game. Or
Like
just
it
do
doesn't do
today.
anything for either
Go back to
team.
back. Who cares?
Oh Lord.
Oh boy.
Well,
Oh boy.
be sure to become a member at gophnx.com if you haven't already, so you can read all of Craig's stuff. I know he has a lot of great stuff coming up about the Glendale years and, like he just said, the wrap up. So you'll want to become a member. You also get members deals on merchandise, as well as access to the members only Discord. So a lot of great perks to becoming a member over at gophnx.com. And like I said already, go to the PHNX Locker. Get on the bus. It's going to be so much fun. Stay tuned for more updates on that at PHNX_Coyotes on Twitter as well. You can follow each of us. We haven't plugged us personally in a while. So follow at Craig S. Morgan, at S. Peters Hockey. You can follow me at Leah Merrill. You can follow Sean at Sean_DePause. It's been a while since I've plugged us, but we're working as a team. And then follow PHNX Sports across all platforms, as well as subscribe to PHNX Sports on YouTube. And we'll be back Monday with an audio episode. We'll have a couple audio episodes next week, our last 3 post-game shows of the season, and then stay tuned for our schedule updates coming soon via our Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. Guys, anything else, Craig?
Prospect report coming tomorrow, and then a couple fun stories coming early in the week that have to do with the end of the Glendale. You already mentioned the one long story, but I got another one coming too, and I won't say what it is right now.
Okay. There's a tease.
Wow, that's a good tease right there.
Petey, any
I got
final
nothing.
thoughts?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's get on the bus. Let's get on the
Can't
bus.
wait.
I want to see the last
Can't
game
wait.
there. You're not excited to see the last game there?
That's
I don't know.
special. That's
Am I
special.
gonna cry? Do you think I'll cry? I don't.
Probably not. I might.
Yeah, you might. It's important to you too.
It
And we
is.
saw your pictures today. That was really cool. You just had different. Yours is your childhood. For God's
Hey, your child kind of grew up there too.
My child
so.
did grow up there. He did. And he got to go to the game tonight. So I'm glad he got to have one last.
Yeah, Craig
opportunity
saw
to go to the
him.
game. Yeah,
Yep.
Craig saw my son at the game.
That's
Yeah, he
so
wants to
fun.
come to the studio. Said something about his dad not letting him, but I said,
Yeah.
Leah and I will
He
take
said,
care of that.
no, no, no.
Bring him in.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see everybody next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you all so much for watching. We're almost through. We're in this together. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.